And welcome into an historic opening night here of the 2017-18 season as the Baltimore Blast take on the Cedar Rapids Rampage. We're no longer in the Baltimore Arena, the First Mariner Arena, the Royal Farms Arena, whatever it's been called, Paul, all over the years. We're moving on up to the suburbs, my friend.
Wow, it's a kind of a neat experience here. We knew it was going to be different, and you take a look around. Of course, the Parade of Champions on the field, but so much more intimate here at CQ Arena. It is so much smaller, but we'll see how that atmosphere plays, and we'll see how the shorter field plays for the Blast and Cedar Rapids Rampage here tonight.
Gary Stein, Paul Mittermeier, your Blast broadcasters. The Blast are back-to-back defending MASL Arena Soccer champions. The third member of our crew is Andrew Primrose, who's down on the field. And Andrew, let's take it in from your perspective.
Well, we said welcome back, but it's really not back. You guys mentioned it, the big move of all season, the Blast, for the first time in their history, 30-plus years, not in the Baltimore Arena and its many iterations, moving to the Towson area. They're now on the campus of Towson University at the beautiful CQ Arena, a brand new facility. The big change, of course, the attendance and the size of the arena went from about 15,000 people that the arena could sit down to about 4,500 fans. What will be interesting, these games expected to be sellouts pretty much every game, as this will be a packed house for the Blast to play. But as you guys both mentioned, the dimensions of the field, a big change.
And let's talk about that, Paul. The arena was 85 feet wide, same here, but it was about 200 feet long. Now they're down to about 150, which is Sonora size. Blast have had a lot of success out there. How do you think this impacts the Blast style of play?
I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to impact. We'll see. Obviously, less space. You're going to have a more physical style of play with players closer to each other. But it gets back again, Gary, to one-touch soccer. How quickly can you move the ball? How well can you possess the ball? And I think those are things that are pretty strong points for the Blast. Now, let's ask this question: who benefits the most from this? I think if you ask that question, to me, a guy like Vinny Dantas, who's a tremendous target player who can score, I think if this benefits him. Who does this hurt the most? Obviously it's going to hurt William Vanzella, who was used to playing on the big field and was in a situation where maybe he was facing 15, 20, 25 shots a game. It's going to be 40, 45, 50 shots a game now, and he's going to have to be on top of his game. All the keepers are when they come here to CQ Arena to play. Yeah,
it's amazing. Dantas with 45 career games for the Blast. He's got 56 goals, added 9 more goals in the championships. Last year was the MVP of the championships. Vanzella has just been stellar, 71-20 in his regular season indoor career, and his goals against average is 3.2. Those numbers will, I'm sure, go up this year.
It's interesting. You look at this. You look at the view of the field. You kind of see the boards on the far side. It's a little bit of a different texture board. It's a plastic board that has a very limited height on the glass around the sides, and then no glass, as you can see on the far side. No glass between the yellow line. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, that brings up an interesting question, because not only as the Blast unfurl their latest championship banner, of course, last year against Sonora, 2-1. The second game was a thriller in overtime. DeSantos scoring with 11 seconds left, and then Pereira the game winner in overtime, and then Dantas the game winner in the minigame. So that championship banner unfurled. But Paul, you mentioned the texture of the boards. That's one thing. But the material, the actual board itself, is different than the board at the old Baltimore Arena. So not only the texture, but I wonder, and we talked about this before, how the ball does play off the boards will be a learning experience for the Blast.
And it's interesting, guys, that you mentioned that, because Cedar Rapids actually has the same type of boards at their home arena. So Paul, you mentioned about who benefits. This might be one case where Cedar Rapids is used to playing with this style of board and has a home field advantage on the road.
The Blast practiced for the first time here at CQ Arena yesterday. So we'll see what they were able to gain, what kind of knowledge they were able to gain as far as the turn goes. And remember, it's going to be a little different because the field is shorter, but the width is the same, so the turn of the board in the corners is going to be different than what they would have been used to at the Royal Farms Arena when they've played previously.
8 championships in their last 15 years. The Blast clearly the class of indoor soccer, arena soccer, now in the MASL 3 years. They were runner-up to Monterey 3 years ago and then back-to-back champions the last 2 years. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the Blast, they will go with Pat Healy, Tony Donatelli, Juan Pereira, Elton back in the lineup after missing the playoffs last year, and of course Vinny Dantas up front. Not a lot of changes for the Blast this year. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Rampage go with Cody Gerson, Derek Huffman, Pablo De Silva, who's got some roots here in Baltimore, Tony Walls, and Mohamed Kenaway. The goalkeepers, Vanzella for the Blast, and Brett Petracek, who had a great rookie season for Cedar Rapids last year. Paul went 12-6 with an under 6 goals against. He kept them in a lot of games last year.
Yeah, but Cedar Rapids gave up 11 to Milwaukee their first game this season, lost 11-7. But Gary, you don't hear this very much. The Blast looking for their first ever win against Cedar Rapids because the Rampage beat the Blast in Cedar Rapids last year, the only time these two teams have played in their history.
5-3 was the final. The Blast had a tough road trip. Remember, they had Cedar Rapids and Milwaukee back-to-back. Petracek was the winner with 15 saves and 18 chances in that game. Vanzella was a little off that night, 5 saves and 10 chances as Cedar Rapids won it 5-3. The Rampage led by Derek Huffman, 3 goals against Milwaukee, but Petracek did give up those 11, and Cedar Rapids lost to the Wave 11-7. Cedar Rapids spoiled Kansas City's home opener last year. Blaster looking for a big win tonight here at the CQ Arena.
See the opening kickoff, the representatives from the Towson community here, including Debbie Phelps, mom of Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, who's here in Towson, kicking out the first kick here at CQ Arena.
Did all his youth swimming at the Meadowbrook Club up in North Baltimore, the North Baltimore Aquatic Club. So tonight the Blast will be in the home red with the white numerals and the white trim. Cedar Rapids will be in the road royal blue jerseys and the white pants. Tonight's officials, the senior referee is Ryan Sigich. The referee is Eduardo Hernandez. The assistant referee is Trey Krell. And the fourth official is Bob Faraday. We are just about set for the opening kick tonight, a historic night in Baltimore. The Blast, after 37 seasons in downtown Baltimore at first the Civic Center and then the arena, play their first ever home game in a different building in the history of this franchise. Dantas and Gerson right now in the circle.
You know, Gary, you didn't mention him in the starting lineup, but Taylor Bond, the big acquisition for the Rampage, coming from Chicago as a free agent, he will factor in here tonight as well.
Bond from Chicago. Last year, 40 goals, 14 assists, 54 points in 20 games. Had a goal against Milwaukee, had 13 multiple goal games last year. Gerson, another big scorer, acquired from St. Louis. He wears number 3, was shut out against Milwaukee, but last year, 23 goals, 10 assists in 20 games. In 62 career MASL games, 102 goals for Cody Gerson. So they've got some firepower on this team. A lot of people with their cameras out, their phones, taking a picture of that opening kick, and here we go. That's a pass with a lot of pace back to the keeper, and a steal for the Blast right away. Dantas tripped up from behind, and no call and no play there, and taken away by the Rampage.
Immediately the Blast able to use their physicality and quickness to make a quick steal and almost create a scoring opportunity.
So again, the storyline here tonight, history made, but the Blast playing on a smaller field, leaving one out in front and defensively blocked by Cedar Rapids. Nice outlet by Petracek. Up ahead for Greenfield, the player coach, won a championship here with the Blast. And the Blast now, it'll be here on the near corner, it'll be Baltimore ball.
And there's the style of play that we're going to see as the ball goes in and out, bouncing around. And you saw a save on one end and distribution, and 3 seconds later there was a shot.
I think it's the big thing, you know, not just the ability to get shots on goal, but you better make them count, because if you don't and the keeper makes a save, it can quickly go back into your own end.
And there you saw in the midfield, not a lot of midfield play there. Santana lost the touch and lost the ball to Cedar Rapids.
As we talk about the dimensions of the field, it's important to note yellow line in, this is the same size field that the Blast and the rest of the league are used to playing on. It's the midfield area and the change in the midfield area that's really the big difference for the Blast. And then the Blast use that a lot for ball control. So that'll be the difference for them.
Mello, Elton, Santana. Up ahead now, a shot taken by Jamie Thomas as the Blast have changed. Cedar Rapids now, Greenfield will slow it down, but the Blast pressure. Roque out there for the Blast along with Thomas. And now trying to make a move here in the midfield is De Silva. And a foul call. Correction, that's Antonio Aguilar for Cedar Rapids, and it's a foul on the Rampage.
Here we go, free kick for the Blast, and this is scoring opportunity here. You're not used to saying that behind the
midfield,
yellow line.
yeah.
Elton will be on the ball, missed the 2 last regular season games last year, and then missed the entire playoffs, like Vinny Dantas did the year earlier against Sonora. And the Blast persevered. Roque pushed off in the midfield. Ball taken by the Rampage. Aguilar finds a man open. It's Greenfield. Now they move it around. Nice one-touch soccer inside for Aguilar. That's broken up by Santana. Santana falls to the turf. They try to keep it alive in the corner. Santana's still fighting hard. And a whistle and a foul, and it's against Santana.
They're going to call Santana for the elbow there.
Yeah, it's going to be over.
There we go, restart opportunity now for Cedar Rapids.
We'll keep the time for you. You'll notice no time on the graphic up top. 12:55 left to play in the first. We'll go old school, Paul.
Did you bring your egg timer?
We're not going that old school.
Old school radio trick to remember to give people the time of the game.
I'll do my best without the egg timer, but I will bring it next week against Syracuse. That's a good call. Don't need the binoculars anymore,
No.
but we do need the egg timer.
There's a shot from Vanzella on goal.
Petracek with the save.
I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to see that a lot more this year.
Yeah, William's saying this. Look, if I got to play goalie, I'm also going to be in the field this year.
And one of the other things you see on that shot of the field is the benches and how close together they are.
And the penalty boxes are in among that. Remember at the old arena, I say the old arena, it's still around. The penalty boxes were on the opposite side of the benches. De Silva in the midfield, now quickly up ahead along the boards. And keeping it alive, Cedar Rapids, kicking it away is Dan Peruzzi for the Blast, who came on late last year. This one bounces over the boards. Peruzzi with a good second half of the year for the Blast last year, 5 goals in 8 games.
And a high clearing pass just missed the true superstructure that we have here at the CQ Arena.
Right.
No longer subpar.
Or mediocre for that matter.
The whole can be said about this beautiful arena. Towson building this, it opened about 4 years ago, and just a first-class arena on this campus here.
What pressure here from Hoxie on both De Silva and Petracek, and it leads to a turnover if the Blast can collect it. Healy along the boards, intended for Dantas. That's too strong. Nice move here. Here's Guernsey for Cedar Rapids. Off the boards and the box. A man was there, but it bounces off the backside, and here come the Blast the other way. What action here on a smaller field.
Well, that's one thing the Blast aren't going to be able to do that they've been used to doing in the past. You can't play the ball back anymore. That's just not going to work in the smaller area of the field.
Here's a foul called, if not a card. It's only a foul on Pat Healy.
I'd like to see a replay of that. I'm not even sure Pat Healy touched him. I think Gerson may have went down on the turf.
Take a look.
Let's see if he even makes contact here. Yeah, well,
He
maybe,
did get him.
Maybe at the end.
Gerson and Healy have history, and I don't mean in a bad way. They both played together on the U.S. national futsal team. And here is a great opportunity for Cedar Rapids with 11:16 left in the first.
Gerson seems to be okay now, running around.
Here's Pablo. They play it through for Hoffman, and Vanzella right there for the save. A head ball towards the box. Blast going to try to run it down. Here's Pereira.
I'll tell you, your first touch really has to be true in this type of game.
50-50 ball. Guernsey wins that one. Nice header up ahead for Gerson. Vanzella, corner of the box. Rampage all over the field right now, and they'll collect it. Here's Bobby Hurwitz, and he'll send it back to Petracek. And again, pressure from the Blast. The forwards buzzing around. Here's Dantas with the steal. Help from Pereira. Not a lot of space along the boards there, and the Blast do clear it back to the keeper. Blast go with, I'm sorry, Paul.
No, we'll see how much William Vanzella also plays into the mix as that sixth player. They used to do a lot. Maybe not as much needed there in the smaller field.
Pereira on the far side. Up ahead for Jeremy Rayleigh, making his first, or seeing his first action. Rayleigh had a nice little breakout second half of the year last year. Rayleigh for the Blast, 4 goals in 20 games. A lot of that came late. Blast making changes. Here's Thomas now for the Blast. They're looking to him in his second year to really move ahead. Roquet at the target position. Here's Mello now in the midfield, too far. Hurwitz for Cedar Rapids.
Mello was wide open, but I think he turned to try to find the open area before he controlled the ball, and it kind of got by him, and he lost possession.
Huffman on the return. That's behind Hurwitz. Now they play it back to Greenfield. Greenfield was a member of the Blast for 2 years, 08 through 10, won a championship in 09 in Baltimore. That was Pat Healy's first year.
Still has to be tough, though, Gary, being player coach.
A lot of responsibility. Back to Petrocek. Blast buzzing around. Here they come now to midfield. Huffman intended for a teammate along the side of the boards, and Elton kicks that one away. Clock continues to run. 9 minutes left to go in the first. No score.
You know, first 6 minutes, you just can't take your eyes away from the field. When play's going on, there's just
too much happening.
Yeah, exactly.
50 feet less is this field. It basically went from 200 long to
Oh, look at
150.
this.
Nice ball up ahead, too far for Thomas. Petrocek comes out, and now a whistle here.
Three-line violation on the blast. So a restart here on the yellow.
In case you're wondering at home, all of the length has been taken from midfield. From the yellow line to the goal is the exact same distance. Push it off into the corner for Hoffman. No call there. Here come the Blast. Mello got a man in the corner. It's Elton. Off the boards, in the box, and that one back to the yellow line. Rayleigh going to try to collect it.
Blast playing a man down there.
Well, yeah, well, that's another thing, too. The ball came out hot off the boards. They were changing, and Thomas was down. That nearly led to a one-on-none for Cedar Rapids. It was a nice job by Rayleigh to get off the bench in time and gather the ball in.
That call is on number 8. Keenan Malasevich. Here come the Blast again. Healy towards the goal. Blocked by Greenfield. Corner of the box. And now a whistle here on the near side. And this one again will be on the Rapids. Or I should say on the Rampage. Clock stops with 8:15 left in the first.
And Pat Healy taken to the ground. A restart here for the Blast. Just outside the old three-point arc on the near side here.
Last foul is on Bond.
I'm glad we brought the three-point line back with us. Even if it doesn't count, I'm glad it's still here with us.
Looks good.
Yeah.
That one just up high over a goal. It'll be a goal kick. Dantas took the shot.
I think it's Peruzzi.
Oh, was it Peruzzi?
Took that one. First ball we've seen up into the mesh above the glass over top the goal.
Seth Arriaga on the floor, dumps it into the corner. Vanzella makes the play. Vanzella with Santana in the back. Up ahead now for Donatelli. Donatelli in his 8th year, 6th with the Blast. 89 goals in 100 career games in a Blast uniform. Elton makes the stop.
Yeah, good pinch by Elton there.
Who had this as a scoreless game halfway through the first
I
quarter?
was just thinking that.
I don't think I've ever seen as much action in a scoreless game.
Nice move by Dantas. In the box and in the net! Pereira for the Blast. And that's the first goal in the new arena in the history of this team.
And Juan Pereira puts it home. A great feed from Vinny Dantas. And the Blast are on the board.
This will also be the official timeout.
Time of the goal, 7:27 of the first. The Blast lead it. Pereira, goal number 1. Dantas, assist number 1. And the Blast beat him. Let's watch it.
And there you go, Dantas down the wing. And just a great feed in front to a wide open Pereira on the far post. And really, Elton started that whole thing with the nice pinch seconds earlier to win the possession back for the Blast. And that's what led to the goal down the near wing.
Talking to Danny Kelly the other night. We'll take a timeout here with our score. Blast 1, Rampage nothing at the CQ Arena in Towson.
Nothing feels better than when my Megabank treats me like a number.
Burned out by poor Megabank service? Life's better when you seek you. With a smile. With a friend. Any way you need. And wherever life takes you. So, do you CQ?
Stein, Paul Mittermeier, Andrew Primrose at the CQ Arena in Towson, Maryland. Just for geographical purposes, we're about 5 miles north of the city, directly north, one of the suburbs of Baltimore in Baltimore County. It's the home of Towson University, and it's our first game ever here tonight against the Cedar Rapids Rampage. Nice crowd on hand. Place seats about 3,600 for soccer, about 4,800 for college basketball. And of course, the Towson Tigers, one of the better teams in the Colonial Athletic Association. But right now, indoor soccer here at the CQ Arena, and the Blast lead at 1-0. Into the corner is Hurwitz, double teamed by the Blast. Healy and Donatelli, headed back by Huffman. That one just wide of the mark by Hurwitz, and now back towards, and Vanzella had to be alert and make that play on a shot from Gerson. Pereira fighting with Pablo in the midfield.
Well, Jawant did a nice effort, a nice job there being the target, but he just couldn't quite hold his position to win the possession. First touch is crucial. It's just amazing how important that first touch is on this field.
Ball stays in on the near side, right in front of the Cedar Rapids bench. Here's Pablo trying to take on Pereira. Ball deflects off Healy, back to Juwan Pereira. Blast 2-on-3. Here's Donatelli now inside the yellow line.
And Gary, the other thing too, your line changes have to be sharp, because if you thought standing around was bad before, you get tired and you get caught on the field, you're really crushing your team if you're not moving your feet on this game.
One advantage the Blast do have on this field is that this is the same size field that they practice on every day. So they are used to a field that's about 140, 150 feet long. Now, in game conditions, it's quite different. They're just going to have to get used to that. Mello, Healy, Rayleigh, Thomas, and Roque for the Blast. Thomas tries to make a move towards the goal.
Nice run through the box by Thomas, and he just couldn't quite get his body into a position where he could put something on target.
Foul called on Rayleigh, 1-0 Blast with 5:45 left in the first. Now, Danny Kelly insisted in the offseason, Paul, even up through yesterday, that the Blast is still going to play their game.
And so
Possession.
so far they have.
That's too many men on the field. Cedar Rapids clearly caught in the midst of a shift there.
And they got away with it. Oh, here we go.
Here's Mello trying to spin his way out of that. No call.
Oh.
In the box, Roque had a chance, couldn't convert. Mello off the boards, blocked by Greenfield. This will be on Mello here.
That's going to be a foul. Oh,
That
tough
was
break.
actually on the official. He tripped him.
Tough break for Roque as the ball came right back out to him. He was standing in the box, and he couldn't deflect it off himself to put it in the goal.
5:06 left in the first, Blast by 1. Sandoval, Yoshio Sandoval. Petracek up ahead in the corner now for Malisevich. Good defense by the Blast. Greenfield elects to play it back.
Paul, you talked about the difficulty for Greenfield of being a player coach. One advantage, he's given himself quite a bit of playing time early on here. Guess he likes what he's seeing.
That's his call. Here is Greenfield now. Won a championship with the Blast as well as the Milwaukee Wave. Trying to do the same thing here in Cedar Rapids. A lot of Cedar Rapids players used to play for Milwaukee, and there's over by Petracek. It'll be a goal kick for Vanzella. Boy, Vanzella's goals against hasn't been hurt yet this year by the smaller accommodations. 4:20 left to go. Here's something. So Williams got 9 shutouts in his career. If he gets a shutout in this arena, that's something.
That's huge.
Nice cross. Peruzzi! And that first touch there, lost it.
If he shut you, me, and Paul up, that would be an impressive thing here.
Here's pressure. Roque battling. Nice ball here. Peruzzi! A one-touch for Roque. Petracek makes the save.
Did he have that with his hand?
He was 4 feet out of the box.
If that was definitely a handball, if that's where it came off of.
No, it
He was
100% in his
clearly,
hand. Yeah.
clearly out of the box.
Yeah, well, if you get that replay angle, I mean, that's not even close. He made the save 4 feet outside the box.
Greenfield off the boards. Up ahead, leaves it for Bond in the box. Let's see, it's up and over.
On top of the arc here, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's off of Elton. Good chance here for Cedar Rapids. Their second restart from around the box. 3:33 left in the first, and the Blast lead by 1.
Well, this is going to be an element. We always stress restarts, but
Yeah,
especially now.
even bigger now. Third touch, wide. Well designed, but not really a good shot.
Well, and then you see the other aspect to that. The Blast nearly had a breakaway off of the deflection if Pat Healy could find Donatelli up ahead.
Here's Bond now for Cedar Rapids. He comes off across Huffman. That's over the boards, and it'll be free kick Blast. No boards, by the way, in the middle of the field.
Well, no glass.
I'm sorry, no glass. Basically from the 15 to the 15, or the 20 to the 20, there's no glass. People have to be alert over there.
Nice play by Andrew Hoxie there to save possession, fight and keep it back out instead of letting it go back to the goaltender. And a bad pass by Pat Healy.
Blast pressuring with 3 inside the yellow line. Rampage get it out of there. And they lose it over the boards. It'll be a goalkeeper distribution.
I think
It's off the Blast.
Off of Santana, so a corner here.
Wow. Clock says 2:49 left in the first. Greenfield will be on it. Pereira and Hoxie the wall. Huffman deflected in the box, saved by Santana as he blocked that one towards midfield, back to the keeper.
Like a hockey defender, laid out there, gave up the body to stop the shot.
Just high, ball still in play. That was a bullet from Bond.
That ball was hit so hard it almost went to the other yellow line on the deflection.
Andrew, you mentioned hockey in the smaller field. This now so resembles hockey.
Maybe we'll see a fight.
They're trying to cut that out, aren't they? Aren't they, Andrew?
No comment.
Here's De Silva with 2 minutes left to go in the first. Greenfield with Elton. Correction, with Hoxie. Gerson gives it up back to the keeper, past the yellow line.
Same principles for the Blast, so 5 guys behind the ball. Not really giving Cedar Rapids any angles to shoot on goal.
That's really going to be the key to the Blast season, the 5 behind. And now Cedar Rapids patient. They've held the ball for about 37 seconds since the 2:02 mark. Here's Petracek now. Petracek to the yellow line. That one blocked down low by Donatelli. Arriaga now. 1:10. Cedar Rapids has basically had it for a minute. Here's Gerson, and he scores. Cody Gerson knots it at 1. Time of the goal, 13:59 on a great turn and shoot.
Great feed from Pablo De Silva. Here's the replay. Good ball off the boards. And Gordy Gerson just puts it up under the bar on Van Zella. And ties his bad boy up at 1.
Gerson on the season now, his first goal in 2 games. De Silva did not play against Milwaukee. That's his first assist of the year. Time of the goal, 13:59, and we're tied at 1.
Interesting there, right before that play, Gordy Gerson was into it with Nelson Santana. He fell down, the call wasn't given, and he got back up immediately. The Blast are upset because that's the second time now he's dove during this game. One time he drew the foul, this time he didn't, but he got a beautiful goal after.
Bond in midfield, denied by the Blast. Elton working with Huffman, and a foul called on Cedar Rapids. It'll be free kick Blast outside the arc with 41 seconds left in the quarter. Blast got a goal at the midway point of the first period from Pereira. And Cedar Rapids just tied it up moments ago on a goal from Gerson.
Oliveira lurking deep.
Thomas comes open and volleys one towards the goal. Petrocek there. Hammers one out to Guernsey in midfield.
Well, Jamie Thomas has done a nice job getting to the box in this first quarter. He just hasn't been able to finish.
Thomas last year, 2 goals, 3 assists in 17 games. A graduate of St. John's University in Queens, New York.
Seconds left in the quarter.
Bond, 8 seconds now, looking for a man, near side, Huffman. He'll try it. Huffman, kick save by Vanzella. Almost a 3-line violation on the save. And that's the end of the first period. Blast 1, Rampage 1. Opening night at the CQ Arena. Back for more right after this.
It's a great time to be a fan when you can come into Buffalo Wild Wings and catch the best moments in sports. Unlike in Roman times, when you could become the sport.
Is this section G?
I don't know.
I don't know. Uh-oh. Ow.
Get the ultimate sports experience at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, Don, what's going on?
Jack, you haven't heard, the new building's done. It's beautiful. We moved in, and to celebrate this month, every car is posted on the internet at Invoice. You keep the rebates, and we give you 125% of Kelley Blue Book. In addition, free loaner cars, car washes, manicures for the ladies, indoor patios, outdoor patios. What could be better?
Jack says yes to invoice pricing on Corollas. Jack says yes to invoice pricing on RAV4s. Jack says yes to invoice pricing on Camrys.
Yes!
Visit Antwerpen Toyota today.
Towson, Maryland. Blast in the Cedar Rapids Rampage. 1-1 the score. Last goal from Juan Pereira at the 7:27 mark, assisted by Vinny Dantas, and then Cedar Rapids tied it up at 13:59. Gerson from De Silva. Shots in the first period. Rampage 8, Blast 5. Goalkeeper stats. Vanzella has faced 4 shots, made 3 saves. Petrocek has faced 3 shots with 2 saves. Paul, your assessment, first 15 minutes.
A lot of action, few goals. I think that's what we come out with. Not much of a different game. You know, the Blast still trying to use their possession tactics to be successful. Cedar Rapids did a nice job at the end of the first quarter leading up to that goal, possessing the ball and pretty much setting up shop in the Blast end of the field. Again, first touch is crucial. And I think as time goes along, you'll start to see the Blast trying to figure out decision making. You know, there's situations where in the pass, Gary, where you win a ball maybe in the middle of the offensive zone where you play it back in the pass, maybe you take a shot now because of the smaller confines, because maybe the rebound comes out further and you still win possession. Now, those are things you have to figure out as a player, when you want to hold, when you want to try to attack. And they'll start to figure those out as they go along.
When you look at the law of return, if you only take 5 shots in a quarter when the odds are that good in a small field, it's not like it was in the big field before. So for the Blast, they probably want to ramp up that amount of shots that they're taking.
Yeah, exactly.
Blast come out with Roque, Donatelli, Santana, Peruzzi, and Healy. Vanzella in goal. For Cedar Rapids, Aguilar, Pablo, Tony Walls, Yoshio Sandoval, and Mohamed Kenaway. Free kick Cedar Rapids as the Blast kick it up and over. Rampage in a tough division with Milwaukee and Kansas City. They improved last year tremendously. 12-8 from 5-15 the years before. Blast went 14-6 last year and won their second consecutive MASL championship.
Foul on Aguilar as he had a whole handful of Nelson Santana's jersey.
I thought he was going to rip Nelson's shirt off.
He couldn't wait to exchange jerseys after the game.
Blast do have some nice looking home reds this year.
They seem redder, don't they? Or is it me?
It's just that you're closer.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good call.
Gary, you can actually see now.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
It's
and the
amazing.
lights here are they're newer. No light bulbs from 1960 in this building.
I think my vision's in HD now.
You know I'm older than the arena.
Yeah, we knew that, Gary.
Oh, you did?
Older than the Coliseum, too.
Oh, my God. Already, game one.
We don't know how much longer we have with you.
Here's Petrocek. Yeah, you got plenty of time. Trust me. Best shape of my life, right? 13:56 left in the half. Cedar Rapids now. Here's a chance inside the box, and they score. A through ball, and it was either, well, I'm not sure who it was, actually, with two guys in there. We'll see who gets it.
I think it's De Silva's going to get this again. We'll see. Well, maybe not.
Either way, Cedar Rapids takes their first lead.
I'll tell you who set that play up was Tony Walls. With the good possession and good target position in the corner, won the ball for Cedar Rapids. Aguilar gets the goal.
And Arriaga gets the assist. Time of the goal, 1:16 for Aguilar. That's goal number 1. And for Arriaga, that is assist number 1. Time of the goal is 1:16, 2-1 Cedar Rapids. Blast now playing from behind. There's Pereira. And that one will be over the glass. It'll be a goalkeeper distribution for Petrocek, taken by John Mello.
You know, ever since the 2 or 3 minute mark of, or 2 or 3 minutes left in the first quarter, the momentum's changed, and Cedar Rapids has kind of taken over in this game right now.
Greenfield up ahead for Huffman. Nice run. Picked up by Rayleigh. Cedar Rapids doing a good job of controlling the ball. You know what I think the difference was, Paul, was Cedar Rapids had the ball there for like a minute and a half. Possession time, scored off of it late in the first period, and you're right, since then it's just been a little bit of a different game. Nice ball off the boards at the yellow line for Bond. I think it was an inadvertent elbow by Oliveira.
And now we're going to see a blue card
This will
come
be on
out from
Elton.
the far side.
And they're going to call Elton for elbowing. So our first power play this season.
Take a look at it here. Here comes Elton.
Oh,
Really?
wow. Very little contact there.
Time of the penalty, 2:16 of the second. Elton goes off. Power play, Cedar Rapids. Special teams have been one of the Blast strong suits forever, really. And it got even better last year when Healy came back from retirement. Blast penalty killers here are Healy, Santana, Pereira, and Mello.
Tough break there. The Blast nearly had a steal. But Healy couldn't quite control that first touch.
It'll be interesting to see the impact that the shorter field has on special team situations.
Sure, and Blast are going to be aggressive. They are anyway. Now, if you're aggressive now, it can quickly lead to a chance on the other end.
Yeah,
Right.
I think, Paul, you make the great point. I think the only impact it'll have is more likelihood of a counterattack.
Short-handed goals.
Yeah. I mean, as far as packing the box and playing shorthanded, you're usually playing within that yellow line anyway. So it shouldn't have much of an impact. What it does give the Blast the advantage of is when they counterattack, they don't have to stretch it so far.
And I think as a keeper, you have to be wary of where you are in the field, because a quick turnover out near the midfield can lead to a quick shot on the opposing goal. So you have to be cognizant.
Sliding save by block, I should say, by Pereira. 1 minute left on the power play. 2-1 Cedar Rapids. 11:40 left in the half. So they don't have a shot on goal yet here in the power play situation. There's one.
Oh.
And a nice save by William over the boards. It'll be a corner kick, Cedar Rapids.
Manziel's best of the night right there. As he went to his left, got his hand up and parried it over the glass.
Here
One
we
thing
go.
that's interesting to note on the glass is you see those red bars that stretch up. These are the old goals from the arena, but what there used to be was glass that stretched a little farther out at the angle. And it's the second time now ball's hit that mark where it would have hit glass before, but now has gone into the net.
Clock runs here, 40 seconds left on the power play, back towards midfield.
And, Cedar Rapids gets nothing out of that restart. Not even a shot.
Greenfield at the yellow line takes one. The goal kick up coming for Vanzella.
We'll see if the Blast can kill the rest of this penalty off and maybe change the momentum back in their favor.
Cedar Rapids with 2 forwards inside the yellow line. Aggressively playing the outlet pass and stolen away quickly by Huffman.
No really ability to rag time at all in the
Here's
short
Pablo.
field. Yeah.
15 seconds left on the penalty.
Bond in control, now reverses. Here's Huffman, runs onto it, blocked by Santana. This will be a kick in for Cedar Rapids, 11 left on the power play. This is a good penalty kill by the Blast so far. Less than 10 now on the power play. 5. Good patience here. Penalty is over. Elton comes back on, shot high. Ball still in Cedar Rapids' possession. Tricky hop off the boards. Blasco with the short passing game out of there. Now here's a chance. Dantas shoots, and he scores. And just like that, the Blast have tied it up.
Great job by the Blast there as Vinny Dantas switched on. De Oliveira went right out of the penalty box. Dantas slipped in as the offensive player went down to the zone. He got possession right off that switch and was able to score. Great coaching by the Blast.
Here's the replay. The power play gets caught upfield. Dantas off the bench, one-on-one with the keeper, and he does not miss. And Vinny Dantas, the MVP of the finals, has picked up right where he left off last year. A goal and an assist early on in this game.
Dantas, goal number 1 of the year. Time of the goal, 4:31. Dantas now his 57th career goal in 46 career games. Pat Healy gets the assist. And for Healy, that's assist number 1 and assist number 104 of the career. Again, time of the goal, 4:31, and we're tied at 2.
As we mentioned, all of a sudden, the momentum turns again.
Blast now will hold it inside the yellow line. 10 minutes left in the half. Rayleigh and Vanzella for the Blast in the back. Elton back there as well. Thomas, Donatelli, and Dantas up ahead. Here's Thomas, Dantas running onto it. Dantas went near post, and a nice save by Petracek.
That was a nifty offensive move because Dantas tried to get Petracek to overcommit to the far post where he scored last time, but he was having none of that. And Petracek showed him this near post and then took it away.
And Malasevich keeps it for Cedar Rapids, now onto the foot of Greenfield. So, after a flurry by the Blast, Rampage now have the possession. Good pressure here by the Blast. Here's Donatelli at midfield. Nice move by Kenaway. Vanzella off his line, 3-line violation.
It's the shortest 3-line pass you're ever going to see. from right inside the yellow on his own end to right inside the yellow in the Baltimore end. It's probably
amazed.
That's probably what, like 31 feet?
30 feet, 6 inches. Here's Donatelli in scoring distance. Right on goal from Dantas with the left. Sliding save by Petracek, held in by Dantas. Another try! That one high and wide. It'll be a goalkeeper distribution.
The ball is just kind of finding Dantas right now, no matter where he is on the floor.
Teams change. Peruzzi now for the Blast, along with Roque, Mello, Healy, and Santana. Rampage go with Walls, Arriaga, Sandoval, Pablo, and Huffman. Won by the Blast. Here's Santana, 8:45 left in the half. Crossfield, Mello will bring it up. He'll use the right.
So we keep discovering more things about this field and what it's like playing here for the Blast. The interesting thing, the communication on the field is much easier. The Blast bench able to be heard pretty much all the way across the field,
Another
even with
3-line.
that loud environment. So that's interesting with coaching, being yelled off the bench to the field.
That was a long 3-line violation.
What was that, 32 feet?
So now a little bit longer, but
8:29 left in the half. Melo, they let it go through, pushes off for Dantas. Goal kick
Peruzzi.
upcoming for Petrachuk, or is
Peruzzi.
Peruzzi.
You have to get that straight, Gary.
You know what? I really do. Here's Walls now, double teamed. Uses the boards nicely.
Good help there by Peruzzi.
Hurwitz in some trouble, but they still maintain. Pablo will reverse the field. Petrachuk, Melo with him. Here's Walls on the far side, formerly of the Wave. Walls pulled down by Healy, and Pat will get called.
Well, they're going to
Oh
call.
no, they call it on
they're called
Cedar.
on Cedar Rapids, but really they should have let the play go. Here's the replay. And
How are you
again,
going to allow Gerson to do that?
just let that play go. It's a 2-on-1 for the Blast.
Well, then Gerson picks up the ball, starts arguing about it, and the Blast somehow have to not allow him to do that.
And an official's timeout with 7:49 left in the half. Our score tied at 2. Blast and the Rampage back after this. Back at you here with 7:49 left in the half. Blast and Rampage tied at 2. Other games tonight in the MASL, Syracuse and Ontario. The Knights lead the Fury 4-2. That one in the second. Syracuse getting a couple of goals from Ubi Parapovic and leading that one 4-2. Rampage from the back.
Nice work there, getting out of their own end.
Stolen away by the Blast. There's Pereira trying to slip by Bond. But the big body of Taylor Bond didn't allow him to do it, so the Blast now move it out past the yellow line. Pereira inside the box. A lot of defense there, moves it back out. That one right through. Hoxie tried to get a foot on it. Blast maintained possession with 7 minutes left to go.
I don't know. I think too, when you see a guy cut through the middle like that, and it gets played out back towards the yellow, you got to be ready to pull the trigger from that area.
Here's Rayleigh working with 2 defenders.
Nice move.
Donatelli. Nice sliding block by Greenfield. Hoxie trying to control. He's double teamed. Hoxie, they call a push on Hoxie.
Now they're going to call a
Wow,
foul.
on Gerson.
Gerson is like, you got to be kidding me.
I think he just got a blue.
Nah, I think he got a delay game warning.
It's a delay of game warning? Or?
6:43 left in the half.
Good spot here for the Blast.
Gerson still hot under the collar. Here's Donatelli, pushes it up. Rayleigh right on. What a block. Out in front, I think it was Hurwitz. Everybody giving up their body in a short field. Healy back on for the Blast. He'll use Vanzella here on the near side.
Williams got some room to push it up.
William will score a couple goals this year.
What's the over on that? Gary, 2?
I'm going to give him 3.
3 goals.
Petrachuk in some trouble here if Dantas can turn it. Rayleigh looking for it.
He's clearly out of the
Come
box
on.
again. That is absolutely atrocious. That's 3 handballs.
And
And that's a 3-line pass.
That one they'll see. Now William is saying, hey, come on.
2
Really?
handballs on the same play. Well, the good news is they thought about it and got the 3-line pass there.
I think he was pretty quick on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
For Donatelli, tried to bend it a little too high, goalkeeper distribution.
That's about 18 to 20 inches from being a goal. He just missed that upper 90.
6 minutes left in the half. Sandoval keeps it alive nicely.
I'll tell you what, too, if the Blast could figure out the boards, you could be absolutely deadly in a field like this if you can figure out the boards.
They'll figure it out.
Well, I think the interesting thing you brought up, Paul, was the fact they only had 1 practice with this configuration set up. So, you know, this is the first time they're playing on it as well. So there's no home field advantage right now with the boards. The more time they get to practice on this field, they'll find those sweet spots.
Wide of the mark, Sandoval keeps it alive. Blocked out in front by Pereira. That's his 3rd of the first half.
Yeah, nice work by Pereira. Blast were kind of running around in their own end, and Pereira kind of settled things down with that block.
Kenway, and on 1 touch, not enough pace. Vanzella right there. We got a 2-2 game. 5 minutes left in the half.
A lot of room for William there.
He'll hit it. Blocked. Here's trouble. That's good work by Mello to keep that one from going ahead.
3-line there. You really have to be cognizant of where you are. And it's tough to pass long distances when you're near the midfield.
Blocked by the wall. Dantas and Thomas. Now Pablo controls here on the near side. He'll use Petracek. He's got some room past midfield.
You kind of saw the danger there with what William did. That room closes quickly.
Nice footwork here by Dantas. He is pelted into the boards. And a foul called on Gerson.
And that could have been 2 minutes. That's a pretty physical foul there by Gerson as he launched Dantas with the hip check into the boards. Vinny might have embellished a bit.
Vinny embellished a bit, but it was definitely a foul. Gerson came in and took him out.
Working hard, Roque. Covering up on the near side, Petracek. Less than 4 minutes now to play in the half. Here's Vanzella past the yellow line. Oh, good move by Donatelli to play that ball. Didn't give up on it.
It was huge because William was out of position, gave the ball away to Gerson, but Donatelli was able to run on him and steal it back.
Here's trouble. Blast have a defender in the box. That hit the post. Look at Williams, side to side.
How did that ball not end up in the net? Wow.
It went through 2 pairs of legs and hit the post. It's like mini golf.
Right through the windmill.
Here you go.
Petracek again.
Up ahead, Hurwitz.
Oh, nice dig.
Defended by Donatelli. Blast come over.
Donatelli dug that one out.
Wow. Fighting hard and putting it in is Bond. 3-2 Rampage. Time of the goal, 12:10 of the second.
Well, Donatelli was working hard in that corner, but he was about the only guy down there that was working hard. And Taylor Bond took advantage as the rest of the Blast players stood around. Bond used that bounce off the boards to get into advantageous shooting position and blistered it past Van Zella to give Cedar Rapids the lead.
First of the night, second of the season, 73rd in his MASL career. And the assist goes to Hurwitz. That's his first of the night. Time of the goal, 12-10. 3-2 the Rampage. 2:35 left in the half. Kick in blast here, Mello at midfield. Here's Roque, double teamed in the corner, Greenfield. Ball's
Another
loose.
handball. That is another handball. It's unbelievable.
Nice volley here by Healy over to Santana. Coming up on the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Nicely done. Here's Healy now. Healy's got some space right up ahead. Petracek with the body save. Tripping foul will be called here in midfield on Bond. Pereira takes the brunt of it.
Here's a replay. I don't think he touched him.
That's what he's saying.
I don't think he did.
Mello. Blocked by Malisevich. 1:45 left in the half.
And that was similar to the play, the foul that got called on Healy earlier in the first quarter. Very little contact.
Vanzella settles for Elton. Trying to find Hoxie, good defense, no call, rebound, score! And it's all Hoxie off the boards.
Well, Andrew Hoxie just more physical. Huffman wanted the foul call.
Still wants it over there screaming at the official.
But they let play go, and Hoxie puts it into the back of the net with the left foot. Ties the game at 3.
Here it is. He's hard to stop. What a mustache. It's mustache power. 13:35 is the time of the goal. Hoxie's first of the year, his 33rd in 39 games in a Blast uniform. Tied at 3 with 1:25 left. Foul called on Pereira as he was trying to find position. Here's a good opportunity for Pablo and the Rampage.
First unassisted goal of the night.
Timeout, Cedar Rapids.
We'll keep it here with 1:19 to play.
Well, they'll set it up. This is a big point in the game. William Vanzella over to the bench. Looks like he's a little weary. Looks like he's struggling with maybe his right leg.
Well, we're in the new home of the Baltimore Blast. First ever game at the CQ Arena in Towson, Maryland. The Blast played at the Baltimore Arena.
I feel like Williams sometimes has that Ben Roethlisberger. Like he needs that little bit of like the, not that, he's not injury prone. The guy plays most of the games. But he gets that little limp or that little injury, and then all of a sudden he comes out and makes some fantastic save and then limps off again. It's that Ben Roethlisberger syndrome.
Everybody needs something. It's worked pretty well for Ben.
Worked pretty well for Williams.
It has. William in his 6th year now at the Blast, a 3-time champion. And he was the MVP of the playoffs in his rookie season. That was the 12-13 campaign where they beat Missouri in the final. William with the save here, coming off his line. Coming up on a minute here in the first half. Walls has it taken away, and the rebound off the boards comes right back to Vanzella. Dantas with Pablo. Here's pressure from Pereira. Held in by Elton. Nice move. Donatelli has a chance. Is it in or no?
It hit the post.
Hit the post.
It actually hit both posts right in the corner.
But a great move by Donatelli to get free. 45 seconds left to go.
That was a nice cut back to the middle by Donatelli. He was able to even put a little English on the ball to get it right back to him.
3-on-2 if they hurry. Nice cut. William read it nicely. 30 seconds left.
Oh, here's a steal.
Steal. Dantas. He's got a man. Donatelli just wide. Rebound. Eluded Pereira.
Pereira was in such good position for that, and it just bounced the wrong way.
15 seconds left.
It's almost like Juwan was just leaning the wrong way, and he couldn't pull the trigger.
Pressure by the Blast. Healy, 7 seconds if they hurry. Dantas, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, just high.
Would have counted.
Would have counted. And instead, the two teams will have to settle for a 3-3 tie at the half. I'm exhausted.
So he's just shaking his head. A post, about 3 inches wide, and then 6 inches over the goal. 3 chances in the last 30 seconds for Tony Donatelli.
Well, strap on your seatbelt because you better get used to it. This is what we got for the next 5 months on MASL TV. The Blast 3 and the Rampage 3 at the half. The first ever game for the Blast at the CQ Arena. We'll come back with more right after this.
Every day, all across Maryland, we help employers keep workers safe from accidents and injuries. We're Chesapeake Employers Insurance Company. At Chesapeake Employers, workers' compensation insurance and workplace safety have been our mission and passion for 100 years, and will be for 100 more. We help protect Maryland workers because
at the end of every workday, someone's waiting for your safe return.
Connect with your local agent or visit us online.
30 minutes into the new home of the Blast. As the Blast have moved from downtown Baltimore to Towson, Maryland. First ever game here at the CQ Arena. And what a treat for the 3,500 in attendance here tonight, a near capacity, as the Blast and the Cedar Rapids Rampage are tied at 3 at the end of one half. Both teams scored a goal in the first. Pereira from Dantas at 7:27. Gerson from De Silva at 13:59. We're tied at 1 after 1. Cedar Rapids then took the lead early in the second at the 1:16 mark. Aguilar from Arriaga made it 2-1 Cedar Rapids. Blast tied it up. Dantas from Healy at 4:31. Cedar Rapids went back out in front on a great effort by Taylor Bond. Assist to Hurwitz at 12:10. Made it 3-2 Rampage. And then Andrew Hoxie tied it by winning a ball in the corner, bouncing it off the boards to himself and sliding it past the goalkeeper at 13:35 of the second. And Paul, we've had a lot of action in the first 30 minutes of a really tight game.
Yeah, pretty entertaining game, right? I mean, you know, back and forth play, a lot of action, some nice saves on both sides, some good physical play, nothing out of hand, you know, no dirty plays, but just good physical soccer in that first 30 minutes.
Quick thought on whatever the adjustment would be for the Blast and how they've handled the first 30 minutes in terms of that.
I don't know if there's an adjustment to make. I think you just have to keep learning the boards, learning the field, and trying to figure it out as you go along here, as this is only the second time they've been on this field ever.
I know. First practice was last night, so it's not like they've had a lot of time on this field. Andrew, from downstairs, you're right by the Blast bench. What can you tell us from your perspective? I think we may have lost him.
We may have lost Andrew.
We'll get him back, potentially in the second half. Let's see if we've lost him. Yes, indeed we have. We've lost Andrew.
He's not used to doing halftime.
I don't know where and when. This is the first game of the season for the Blast. And, it's interesting. I was looking at the schedule. It's heavy at home early, which it is not usual for the Blast. They play most of their, historically, home games in January and February, but they've got like 5 of their first 7 games are at home.
5 of the first 6, actually. They play that one game back-to-back next week at Florida. Other than that, though, Ontario, St. Louis, Florida, Syracuse, all in here at Towson to play the Blast here in this first part of the schedule. So good chance to learn their home confines here and learn how to play.
The effect of a small field on the goalkeeper. William Van Zella for the Blast has just had a tremendous career. His goals against average is just a smidgen over 3. He's 71 and 20 in his career. The biggest key to that is the style of Blast play, and that is possession, ragtime, ball control. Williams' shots faced have gone down every year since he's come into the league.
Oh, that's gonna change.
That's right, and that was my point. Was his game is totally changing now with this field.
Oh, there's no question. And that's the challenge. I believe that's the challenge for him is, just to be able to absorb that workload that he's not used to and be able to do that. I think he can. It's obviously going to be some wear and tear, and I think the Blast have to really consider finding a backup keeper, and one that's reliable and, maybe being able to get Williams some time off during the season so he's still fresh, even though he's, facing a lot more shots throughout the season.
Cedar Rapids has put 16 shots up here in the first half so far. William didn't face 16 shots many times in 2 games back-to-back.
Right.
Last year.
I mean, obviously you look at the first half and you see some of the nuances that you're going to see this year. When there's a power play, you kick the ball, in the old arena that was bigger, if you were able to get a steal and kick the ball down the field, it took the other team 15 or 20 seconds to get back up to the other end of the field and get back into their offense. You saw in that power play for Cedar Rapids, you kick the ball down the other end of the field, and 3 seconds later they're back in working their magic in the offensive end. So those kind of things change. End of game situations are going to change like that. If there was 20 seconds left and you took a shot on goal and there was a save and you threw it down the other end, pretty much the game was over. You got to play all the way through. We saw that at the end of the first half there with Donatelli. How he gets 3 shots on the goal with 25 seconds left. So you're going to get those opportunities, and you're going to have that kind of fast-paced play, which automatically is going to jack up the amount and the rate of shots you face.
Another thing about the Blast this year, there's usually not too much turnover with the Blast. They've kept their core intact. They've done a good job of that over the last 4 or 5 years. But this year particularly, there was even less turnover. I think only 2, maybe 3 players at the most are gone from last year's squad, and none of them you would consider a core player. The Blast have really done a good job of keeping their core intact.
Absolutely, and I think that's something that you really give credit to Kevin Healy and Hale for being able to keep the roster intact and be able to build upon what you did last year. And you're just going to get better when you have those guys going up and playing with each other.
Our score at the half, Blast 3 and Rampage 3. Again, 3 different Blast players have scored. Pereira, Dantas, and Hoxie. And Cedar Rapids getting goals from 3 different as well. Gerson, Aguilar, and Taylor Bond. We'll take a timeout and come back to the CQ Arena for more halftime. Our score at the half, Blast 3, Rampage 3. Back at you here at halftime of the CQ Arena in Towson, Maryland. The Blast and the Cedar Rapids Rampage opening night, 3-3 the score. Gary Stein, Paul Mittermeier, Andrew Primrose. Quite a first half.
I love the atmosphere.
Totally.
First off, I think the atmosphere is great.
Loud down here on the field.
Right?
Very loud.
So that's a win. I like the style of play in that first half, and I thought we had a pretty entertaining first half of action. 3-3 game after one half of play. Let's take a look at the goals. Blast got it started off. Great feed there by Vinny Dantas to Juan Pereira to make it 1-0 Blast at the midway point of the first quarter. Now Cedar Rapids would come back as Gordy Gerson with a blistering shot under the bar from Pablo De Silva to make it 1-1. And then right back again, Cedar Rapids gets a little lucky bounce here over top of Vanzelli. Gets put into the back of the net by Aguilar for Cedar Rapids to make it 2-1. Then Dantas, his first goal of the season from Pat Healy to tie the game at 2. Cedar Rapids, though, would answer again. Great ball off the boards by Taylor Bond. He's able to beat Vanzello to the far side to make it 3-2. But right before the half, there you see Andrew Hoxie with a nifty move through the boards, through the defender, with the left foot up under the bar to tie this game at 3. At halftime, Blast out shooting Cedar Rapids 9-8 at the half.
Shots on goal in the first half in general. Rampage 16, Blast 14. So it's close everywhere. Shots, goals, saves, fouls, you name it. Both teams right on it with one another. Again, the big news tonight, the Blast opening up in their new home, and the big news within that is a different size field. Blast are used to an 85 wide by 200 field at the arena. It's still 85 feet wide, but it's only about 150 here up in Towson. And so the play is fast and furious, and that's something the Blast will have to adjust to, and they are doing very well tonight.
You know, one thing we didn't talk about in the open, the Blast playing without one of their key players tonight. Adriano Dos Santos not dressed tonight because of an accumulation of cards from last year, so he had to sit out the first game of the season, which is it's a pretty big loss defensively for the Blast here tonight.
Well, it might be a blessing in disguise because the way this game's going and the chippiness earlier, he might have been adding to that accumulation.
Dos Santos led the Blast in blocks last year with 24. And Dos Santos in his 8th year in a Baltimore uniform.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that Adriano's going to like playing on this field.
Yeah. You know who else would have liked playing on this field? He's not with the Blast anymore. Obasi.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
In fact, 3 steps and he would have been like at the goal mouth on this field.
Couple things to note. Rampage late coming out onto the field. The clock expired about a minute, and they're walking onto the field now. And also, you might have noticed in the highlights earlier in the game a little bit of darkness as some of the lighting banks were late coming back on. They are all up and running, so you'll see a fully lit field here in the second half.
You know, I was going to ask you about that because I thought that like midway through the second quarter, maybe late in the second quarter, it started to look a little brighter, and I was wondering if it was just me, which it usually is.
That's a good catch, Gary.
Thank you. Rampage coming out onto the field. There you see the Blast. Danny Kelly, what a career he's had as both a player and a coach here in the Blast. He's been a part of each of the 8 championships since the 03 season. His career record, 179 and 72.
Belichick-like numbers.
Forget about the championships themselves. The Blast have played in the championship series 9 of the last 10 years.
7 in a row.
That's amazing.
It truly is. And even when the league expanded to the MASL, and all of a sudden it wasn't, 8 or 10 teams anymore, now it's 19, 20 teams, Blast have still maintained the edge. And if you go back all the way, the first Blast franchise, the team has won 9 titles. The original Blast and the original MISL back in the late 80s and 90s. Blast won a championship against St. Louis in the 83-84 season. They did just about everything that they could do as a franchise in that league except beat the San Diego Sockers. They lost 4 straight times to San Diego, Ron Newman San Diego in the final. And in fact, the cup here in the MSL is named the Ron Newman Cup. Ron Newman achieving great indoor success with the San Diego Sockers and outdoor success with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Teams are back out on the floor, and here we go. Third quarter underway. Cedar Rapids in blue. They'll have it. Right to left to start us off in a 3-3 game. right away, Pereira pressuring the goalkeeper. That's past the sliding Dantas.
Oh, good recovery, though, by Vinny.
And Vanzella was aggressive in the corner coming outside the box. Here comes Vinny. Good ball. Up ahead for Donatelli. And the defense is equal to the task. That's Kenaway.
Some poor spacing here by Cedar Rapids early. It's allowing the Blast to kind of keep them bottled up in their own end.
Tony Walls on the ball, picked up by Healy. Blast go with Healy, Pereira, Rayleigh, Donatelli, and Dantas. Vanzella in goal. Pablo, Walls, Kenaway, Gerson, and Bond, who's now being replaced by Yoshio Sandoval. Petrocek in goal for them. Here's Gerson for Kenaway. Picked up by Donatelli a minute into the third. Wearing the captain's bars is Pablo. Sandoval, they dump it into the corner. Walls trying to work on Pereira. Good possession here. Pereira steps in, but Gerson comes back and keeps it alive for the Rampage.
That's a ball in the old arena where there's so much space that if you win that ball, you probably win possession back, but because everybody's so close together, ball kind of caroms off the boards a little hard and right back into the hands of Cedar Rapids.
Here's a good ball up ahead from Petrocek to Bond. Vanzella was out of the goal momentarily. Rayleigh messes it up for them, though, and in the midfield, it's Pereira. This is a long shift now for both teams.
Now
And
Gerson's
down again.
Yeah.
Rayleigh with Gerson on the far side. See if we can see what happened to him. Now coming over is Bond. And Rayleigh will leave the scene. Take a look.
Let's see here, Gerson comes in. Really gives him a shove. He really pushed him, but I didn't think,
Well, it'll be Cedar Rapids, or correction, it'll be Blast ball with 12:59 left in the third. Gerson comes off. Let's see who the Blast go with now. Elton, Santana, Mello, Thomas, and Roque. Greenfield with Guernsey, Bond, Aguilar, and Arriaga.
let's see if Lucas Roque can get on track. It was quiet in that first half.
And one shot on goal, I believe. Here's Sandoval now over to Petrocek. Good defense by Thomas. Santana wins a ball. Roque the shot. And Petrocek had to make that save near post. Steal by Elton. Stolen back by Guernsey. Here's the give and go. Back to Guernsey. And getting a hand on it was Vanzella.
Interference call here on Cedar Rapids.
And the speed of Thomas created that.
Arriaga stepped into Thomas as he tried to go around him off the boards.
Also hit him in the head with the elbow. I think if Thomas had gone the Gerson route, he could have just fallen down and drawn a blue card there.
Santana
tries
three lines on a header. Wow. A 30-foot, 6-inch header. A bleeder along the turf by Elton, picked up by Petrocek.
Little worm burner there.
11:58 left to go in the third.
Good defense by Thomas.
Mello trying to play through. Good defense by Elton, shielding Bond from the box. Blast will play the role here. And Vanzella gives it up. Bond with the pressure.
Second or third time that Williams turned it over in this game. I just think the Blast are going to have to focus less on Vanzella carrying the mail for him here on a shorter field. There's just not enough space, and there's too much pressure if things break down, you know?
Good setup by Walls in the corner. The cutter was Aguilar, but the Blast defense was equal.
Again, Rayleigh steps in.
Oh, look at this. Steal by Mella. A push of Peruzzi by Greenfield.
Peruzzi knew it as soon as he hit it. Not well meant there.
Elton fighting hard. Strikes that one away. Here's Guernsey now going to wind towards the goal. And it is punched away by Vanzella. And this will make it by, and it does! An own goal gives the Blast the lead.
Greenfield zigged, and Petrocek zagged, and ended up in the back of his net 4.5 minutes into the second half.
Time of the goal, 4:27 to be exact.
And that won't be the last time we see that this year either.
Absolutely not. Let's see who they give the Blast goal to. Last person who touched it. It's 4-3 Blast on an own goal. Greenfield past his keeper. Still waiting on the call.
You might have to
They're going to go with Peruzzi. They're talking about it.
It is Peruzzi. We'll take it. 6th career goal in 9 games. It's the easiest one he's ever scored. Wide of the mark by Bond. Dantas trying to lose Pablo.
Well, the good news is Gerson up and healthy. Thank goodness.
Gerson keeping it alive up ahead for Yoshio Sandoval. Nice play by Vanzella. He had to stretch the legs to make that save. William with the catch. And a whistle. What is this about now?
They're going to call illegal procedure on the Blast for kicking the ball back to their goalkeeper.
Really?
Yeah. You never see that call. And I'm not real sure. I'm going to say, Gary, it was probably a good call because I do believe the Blast played it with their feet back to Vanzella.
Blast go with the 3-man wall.
Right, Paul?
What's that?
It has to be with intent, correct?
Correct.
Bond totally mishit that one.
And you could interpret that as the Blast just playing the ball away and Vanzella happened to be there. But it did come off one of the Blasts with their feet and into the hands of Vanzella. So
4-3 Blast on an own goal off the foot of Greenfield. 9:39 left in the third. This is the only time that these two teams will play this year, and only the second time they've ever played. The Rapids,
handball.
Cedar Rapids beat them last year, 5-3. That was on Bond. It'll be a free kick Blast. Blast go with Donatelli, Rayleigh, Elton, Dantas, and Pereira. Here's Dantas being pushed and pulled in the corner. Ball taken away. Elton with some pressure.
Good
Nice
work.
tick-tock here. Good work is right.
By Cedar Rapids to get out of their own end.
Here's Bond. Big left foot. Big save by William. Almost a 3-line save. Oh, good pressure. Blocked by Pereira, but back to the keeper. Here's Pablo. He's got some real estate. Pereira, though, back quickly.
It's nice when you can sprint back 30 or 25 or 30 steps and you're in your own end again, right?
That is one advantage, but you got to do it. Less than 9 minutes now to go in the third. Blast by 1. No call there. Gerson going down from Elton. Dantas along the boards. They'll play that around.
Guys, we talked a lot about the new arena and CQ here on Towson's campus. One thing that's interesting to note for the fans that attend, the new concessions, the free parking included with the ticket price. A lot of advantages for the fans. You can see the fans going around the new team shop here, purchasing team gear, and then fantastic food and really affordable prices, something the arena was not known for. So great fan experience here at CQ. And the fans really enjoying this first look at it.
Yeah, you know, it gives you ability with the closed-in atmosphere of the arena. You can kind of walk around the concourse while the game's going on and still watch the game.
Meanwhile, in Syracuse, the Ontario Fury have scored 3 times in the third, and after 3 periods, the Knights and the Fury are tied at 5. Quick turnaround for the Rampage, by the way. They got to get out of town and go to Florida. They play the Tropics tomorrow at 7:35.
Worst things you can do to go to Florida, Gary. Especially when you're coming from Cedar Rapids and it's what, like 15 there tonight?
Low of 29 tonight here in Baltimore, so not much better.
I'm a summer boy myself. 7:15 now, left to play in the third. Blast by 1, they'll hold on to it. Santana, Mello, Peruzzi, Roque, and Elton. For Santana in the corner around the turn. And coming over is a Rampage defender. It'll be up and over against the Blast and a official's timeout. 6:57 left to play in the third. It's the Blast 4 and the Rampage 3. Back for more right after this. Back to the action here in the third quarter, just underway. After the officials' timeout, Blast leading the Rampage 4-3, taking it away from Cedar Rapids in the midfield. The margin right now for the Blast was an own goal by Jonathan Greenfield, and now a whistle here and a foul called.
It's good. That's a pretty good foul by Pat Healy.
Yeah, Gerson wants a penalty. Another good opportunity here.
Still a real good restart opportunity, though, for the Cedar Rapids Rampage.
Greenfield, the player coach, will be on it for Cedar Rapids. Benzella reads that. Second block by Healy. Gerson trying to tackle Mello.
Man, he is not putting on a good display for the Baltimore Flames here in his first game in Baltimore.
Who, Gerson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy's scored a lot of goals in a young career, but bounced around and not making a good show tonight. A lot of petty play out here.
Hoxie trying to run that one down. Blast pressuring with 2, now 3. Here's the steal, Mello. Up ahead for Hoxie.
Oh,
a lot of pace on that one. Hoxie! No, they ruled it off.
Waved off for some reason.
Why? What is the call? It's got to be a foul on Hoxie.
I mean, it's kind of a ticky-tack call here because I don't think no one ever had possession here. It's a slick play by Hoxie to get it into the box.
Well, you know what? They didn't call a foul. They called it a goalkeeper distribution. How is that a goalkeeper distribution?
It's a terrible call.
Wow.
All right, I can understand a foul if it was a foul.
And restart here for the Blast foul on Cedar Rapids.
5:40 left in the third. Blast by 1.
Although in fairness, he did make the save in the box this time, so that's improvement.
Here's Donatelli now. A couple of runners looking for Rayleigh. Off the boards in the box for Peruzzi. Guernsey right there for Cedar Rapids. Good no call there by the official right on it. Now Dantas.
There has to be a foul.
Mixed up with Walls. Blast on the quick restart, and now from behind,
That's
there's the blue card.
Yeah.
Well, they had no choice there. I mean, a quick restart. Walls was not in a position to do anything. He just pushed Dantas from behind on an opportunity towards goal.
Gerson called him and said he was flopping, and Pat Healy just turned around and looked at him and said, "Are you kidding me? You're going to say that?"
First Blast power play of the season. Let's take a look at the unit. Quarterback by Healy, supported by Roque, Dantas, Hoxie,
Donatelli.
and Donatelli. The penalty killers are Hurwitz, Sandoval, Pablo, and Bond.
You don't see Dantas and Hoxie share the field very often. Be interesting to see how they share roles.
Well, big opportunity here for the Blast. Chance to give either team their first two-goal lead of the game.
The fourth penalty killer for Cedar Rapids is Huffman, not Bond. Here come the Blast now. 5 minutes left in the third. 1:45 on the power play. In the corner for Hoxie, good defense by Sandoval to deny the pass off the boards. And Healy will trudge back upfield again. 1:30, quickly up ahead for Roque. Trying to get inside, Petrocek aggressive. Here's Hurwitz, nice run. That one hit the official.
That's a nice job by Hurwitz to kill some time. Not just dumping it down the floor because it comes back quickly, but actually the effort to run down and kill some clock.
Coming up on 1 minute left here on the power play. Through the box, Roque was a step away. Nice ball from Dantas. Healy right in front. Shot, great save by Petrocek. Rebound! Hammered by Dantas and broken up by De Silva.
That's absolutely fantastic save by Petrocek there. Not sure how he reacted that quickly.
40 on the power play. Healy assessing his options. Here's a man open. Dantas off the boards. Running onto it. Healy through the box, and it eludes Hoxie. And still in play. Blast will have one more chance with 20 seconds left.
Plenty of time.
Dantas mishits it. Here comes Hurwitz the other way, and he maintains control.
Have to watch the guy coming out of the box here on the offensive chance.
And that's another good play by Hurwitz. Dragging 10 seconds off. Toe poke up ahead for Dantas. The penalty has been killed. Neither team has been able to take advantage of their power play. The teams now are at even strength with 3:05 left in the third.
We'll see what kind of momentum Cedar Rapids can build now after that penalty kill. Great save by Petrocek to keep this a one-goal game.
Mello. There's Sandoval. Good ball. Reversal on the near side for Dantas with Pablo. Good double team here. Here's Hurwitz again. Very active in the third, and Pereira will get called for the trip. Clock stops with 2:41 left. The only goal in the period was an own goal. William plays that one off the boards. .220 left in the third. Cedar Rapids pressures with 2. Santana to midfield. Greenfield with him.
Tripped him.
Correction, that's Kenaway.
It's just a dangerous spot again. You don't want to be going back into your own end with the ball with the defender in tow. Just asking for trouble, and Santana got a break because he got tripped from behind.
Coming up on 2 minutes now left in the third. Mello. Pereira with it over to Santana. Here's Elton now.
Wow.
Good effort by Roque. No foul called on Huffman.
Like Huffman pushed him to the boards.
Gerson keeping that one alive. Into the corner.
Pereira got kicked from behind.
Oh my, Cody Gerson. Look at him complaining.
Well, Gordy has been active tonight. Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
there you go. Oh, Blast almost returned the favor there.
Oh,
now they do.
they do return the favor. That's a hop, skip, and a jump goal for Guernsey. Welcome to the shorter field.
Well, I mean, again, ridiculous. This is not what you want to be doing, playing pass back in your own end of the short field.
The goal is unassisted. Not quite an own goal in that situation. But again, the Blast just give it up easily inside their box. Guernsey with his first goal of the season at 13:43, and we're tied at 4. 1:10 left in the third.
I mean, going backwards into your own end of the field has to be the last option for you. Even turning around and kicking the ball down the other end of the field and on this field is a better option at this point than what the Blast did in that last possession.
Blast now in possession. Hoxie with 44 seconds left in the third. Over to Donatelli. Blast will set it up here on the near side. Elton. Thomas. Here's Elton on the return. Off the boards in the box. Hoxie. Good settle by Elton. The little back flip. The header running onto it is Donatelli. The rebound, just high, another rebound. Wide, oh, look at Petracek, and we score! 4 times the charm.
And guess who, Tony Donatelli, finally puts it on target to give the Blast the lead. What a play, though. What a play, though, by Petracek on that first save. How in the world did he make that play? And then finally, the Blast able to cash in.
Let's take a look at this flurry.
Little flick by Elton.
That's
great,
one.
Yeah, great header there. This is a smart play as Donatelli plays it off the boards to himself, hits the post. Now watch this save right here on Hoxie. Come on! And finally, Donatelli picks up the loose change.
For Tony Donatelli, that's his first goal of the night, first of the season. Time of the goal, 14:45 of the third. 5-4 is the score. For Donatelli, that is goal number 90 of his Blast career. Hoxie gets the assist, so he's got a 2-point game. And 8 seconds left, and Cedar Rapids with the ball. Great action here at the CQ. So what are we calling this? The arena? The CQ?
CQ Arena, right?
We got to call it the something. We'll take votes on that. Right now, the Blast lead Cedar Rapids 5-4.
What?
I don't know. We're back after this.
When it comes to getting back in the game, there's only one team to turn to. The team more high school, collegiate, and professional athletes train and recover with. That team is MedStar Sports Medicine. For more than 30 years, MedStar has served as a leader in the diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation of orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Ranked among the top programs in the Maryland and Washington regions, we offer rapid access to athletes of all levels. Let the pros who treat the pros treat you. MedStar Sports Medicine.
Back at you here from the CQ Arena. Beginning the fourth quarter, Blast leading the Rampage 5-4. Getting a late goal from Donatelli after a flurry out in front of Petracek with 15 seconds remaining in the fourth. Blast outshot Cedar Rapids 9-4 in the period and have outshot Cedar Rapids for the game 23-20. 15 minutes left in regulation. Here we go. Pereira now for the Blast from right to left. It's Pereira, Rayleigh, Mello, Elton, and Dantas for Baltimore. Walls, Aguilar, Huffman, Kenaway, and Pablo for Cedar Rapids.
A good step in by Mello. Now see, and there's a ball right there. I think you got to play off the boards right away, right? I mean,
Right.
Mello steps in, he's running towards goal. If
Hit it.
Yeah, hit it.
Here's pressure now from Cedar Rapids inside. Good block by Mello.
And
a
another
side swipe by Walls.
Another sequence that was started by a ball passed back to Paul's point. You cannot give up field position.
Aguilar just over the bar. Ball still in play. Here come the Blast the other way now. 1 minute gone here in the fourth. And again,
And
the
a blue
Blast
card.
play.
We have a delayed blue card on an elbow.
From Cedar Rapids.
Let it go.
Yeah.
That was a dangerous play. Oh wait, are we gonna call this on the Blast?
No, the it's on Cedar Rapids.
So what were they letting Cedar Rapids touch the ball for?
Why were they? Why were they letting? Once Cedar Rapids touched the ball, it should have been over, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Let's see who the call's on here. Calls on Pablo.
Yeah, that's interesting. It should have been blown dead the second they touched
Yeah,
it.
should have been blown dead 10, 12 seconds ago. There's Pablo in the box. Time of the penalty is 1:19. 2 minutes for elbowing. Blast on their second power play of the night.
Another situation where the Blast can build a 2-goal lead.
Nobody's had a 2-goal lead in this game. Donatelli, Dantas, Hoxie, Healy, Pereira. Actually, Roque. Here's Hoxie. See which way the defense rotates here. Donatelli inching in. Blast not seeing what they like inside. Right inside for Dantas, and it skimmed off the turf and right into the hands of Petracek.
Vinny deflected that. He was actually looking at Pat Healy saying, was that for me? And Pat Healy did confirm he was looking for Dantas in the middle of the floor there.
1:15 remaining on the power play.
Lucas Roque wide open on the far side, and he found him.
Here he is. Roque, great save, Petracek. 1:05 on the power play. 2 saves by Petracek early. Oh, nice move, Hurwitz, who's just been terrific on the penalty kill for them.
Well, you need that guy at the top of your penalty kill. Good speed that can really do damage down the other end of the floor.
Blast for the third time. Good cross on his score, and he put it into the upper 90, and it's still in there.
Number 2 tonight for Dantas. Great assist from Pat Healy, as there was nothing Petracek could do on that one, as Dantas rips it into the far corner to give the Blast their first 2-goal lead of the game.
Time of the goal, 2:39 of the fourth. It is a power play goal.
Here it is, a great pass cross field from Healy. Oh, what a blistering
stuck it.
shot from a tough angle.
Dantas, 2 goals tonight. 58 in 46 games.
All right, so I'm going to tell you a story from tonight. So,
Wait, is this a long story?
no. So Danny Kelly's in the locker room giving his speech tonight. Danny goes over all the keys to the game, and then, he's been doing this forever. At the end of his speech, he puts up a number that he wants his team to hold the opposition to. So because it's a new arena, because it's a small field, the guys are just sitting there waiting for what number he's going to put up, right? Is it going to be 10? Is it going to be 15, right? What do we got to do? What do we got to hold him to have a chance to win? Danny puts up the number 5, and the room explodes.
Wait, like explodes how? Like
no, like cheering. Cause yeah, I can't believe you put 5 up there, right? Because of a small field. And here we are in the fourth quarter. What's the score?
6-4 blast over Rampage. All right, so far so good. A lot of time left though. 11:53.
It's almost like he knows what he's doing, Paul.
Yeah, right.
Almost.
I think he might have a future in this league.
He's kind of like the internet, It's got a chance.
Hey, guys, we talked about Cedar Rapids, the tough travel schedule they have, having to go to Florida tomorrow night. The Blast have a home and away next weekend. They have a Friday night home game and then have to travel on Saturday. What's interesting is I was just told that the field is going to be pulled up after tonight's game and won't be reinstalled until Friday with the Towson University athletic schedule. So the Blast won't get any practices here after tonight, have to play a game on Friday without practicing at home, and then travel on Saturday. Tough stretch for them to start the season.
I mean, it could be like that, what I'm saying is that may not be an isolated situation.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a volleyball game, and men's basketball starts their season here at Towson University. So the Blast not really used to sharing a space with the regular tenants, and they're going to have to do that with the full university athletic program now.
Nice play by Gerson to break up the momentum for Donatelli. 11 minutes left to go in the fourth. That's a good point. It's not only basketball, it's men's basketball, women's basketball, volleyball, gymnastics. A lot of stuff goes on here.
Yeah, we saw the Towson dance team earlier. They performed. And then, of course, there's, concerts and other kind of events. This is a very busy and popular venue, and the Blast a great addition to that, but going to have to share.
10:45 left in the game. 6-4 Baltimore. Blast have stretched it out now with 2 straight goals, one at the end of the third.
Three-line
on a three-line violation. Donatelli late in the third, and Dantas on a power play goal early in the fourth. And now here, top of the box, or I should say yellow line.
Just want to see Tony just rip this. Nope. Oh.
Almost gets by the keeper.
Good idea by Peruzzi, and hit the keeper and hit off the boards and almost scored it behind him.
Here's Cedar Rapids now trying to claw their way back. Greenfield will play it back to the goalkeeper. 10:15 remaining in the fourth. Pressure by the Blast and the takeaway. Quickly up ahead, Donatelli looking for some help. He's got it. Rayleigh. Nice cross. Blast keep it in the midfield. Now they play it back. Give the Blast a chance to change here. Dantas comes on with Mello, Rayleigh, Elton, Pereira. Steal. Mello. Pushed. Is that going to be a blow?
It's going to be a foul. And see, that's what I'm talking about.
Shootout, right?
That's what I'm talking about here. This play all originated because Elton was on the far side in his own end of the midfield. And instead of playing the ball back, all he did was kick it down into the other end of the floor, which allowed the Blast to pressure, create the turnover, and now have a set-piece opportunity instead of playing the ball back into his own end.
9:49 left. Mello will call a timeout. I mean, it's like hockey, dump and chase.
And it wasn't like Elton had a player ahead. He just put it into an open space on the other end of the floor and got it out of his own end of the floor so that the Blast could then take the pressure to Cedar Rapids in that end.
You have a better chance of an opportunity if you just dump and chase as opposed to play it back. Very interesting. Blast lead it by 2, 6-4, 9:49 left to go. It'll be Blast ball when we return. Blast kicking it away in the midfield. Now they play it back. Here's Pereira. Nice little two-man game at the yellow line. Juwan Pereira carrying it inside the Cedar Rapids end. Here comes Bond the other way. Healy sticks his foot in, takes it away. It's well played, picked his pocket. Or the soccer equivalent.
Couldn't quite get back on the return pass, though.
Coming up on 9 minutes left to play.
Blast in a man-to-man defense.
Santana gives it up for Greenfield. He couldn't collect it, though, and now Dantas the other way. Oh, Petracek had to make that save.
Man, he had Pereira.
Pereira takes a spill, no call. Here's Hurwitz. He's got some speed. He's got a left foot. In the corner now for Walls. Dantas going to fight him on that.
A good recovery defensively by the Blast. As got back behind the ball and didn't allow a shot on goal there.
Pereira off the goal mouth with 8:15 left to go. There's Pablo. Look at Petracek here past the midfield. Petracek to the yellow line. Petracek will put one on goal, and it's just high. William may have got a hand on it. And that one is a goal.
That's a missile.
That is a near post upper 90 for Huffman, I believe.
That was one of those balls where he hit it and it immediately started to sink right as he hit it. This is from the yellow line. Nothing Vanzella could do about that. And I believe
it was Hurwitz.
Petracek should get the assist. Right?
Are we sure that was Hurwitz?
There's no chance.
We're giving it to Hurwitz.
No.
They also marked it as unassisted. We'll see.
I mean, Petracek should get an assist on that.
Hurwitz or Huffman for the goal? Was it Hurwitz or Huffman?
7.
Okay, Hurwitz. They're giving it to Hurwitz. And Arriaga had the assist. Time of the goal, 6:59. And now 6-5. We got a game. And a steal. Here's Bond the other way, off the boards, in the box, and a save by Vanzella.
Oh, beautiful save there for William. Oh, great ball.
And a good hustle back for Cedar Rapids. Aguilar, who had the shot on Vanzella, comes all the way back on the other side and covers up for the goalkeeper.
Guys, we're getting to the point where we start to think about the player of the game and selecting that player of the game, and it's crazy as it sounds. William Vanzella has to be in that conversation after giving up 5 goals. You would say no way in a regular game, but in this arena to give up 5 goals, he's played a heck of a game so far tonight.
There's been a couple real nice saves.
And they're not getting any more because remember, Paul, 5's the number.
That's right.
Well,
nice.
Here's
3
Bond.
lines. 3 lines there.
Got to bring that down, Nelson.
That's just like a deflection, though, you know? Dangerous spot here.
Great save, Vanzella. Here's Bond, taken away. Oh, and Petracek. Oh, goal kick!
How about that finish?
Doesn't get any better than that. He said he had to start doing something, right, Paul?
Oh, there it is.
He did something.
Great play defensively.
One
Great
time.
save, and look at that.
We'll do that.
Come on.
Wow. That's your goal of the week, MASL. Mark it. 8:29. Time of the goal of the 4th. Roque gives the Blast a 2-goal cushion. Timeout on the floor. Back after this.
Besides that being a pretty goal, that's some breathing room for the Blast. Another 2-goal lead. And now Cedar Rapids really going to have to push forward.
What a season this is going to be. Rayleigh off the back line. Up ahead, Hoxie loses his man.
Delayed call here is going to be on Cedar Rapids.
And they touch it inside the box.
There's a hold. And they may call both players here. This might be a 4-on-4 situation.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I mean, Hoxie was being held. This is the problem. This is what happened away from the ball at the yellow line. This was the original penalty, and we'll see if both guys go. The original penalty should have been on Cedar Rapids because Hoxie was being held. Once Vanzello made the save, it wouldn't let Hoxie get out on the break. He was being held all the way from the yellow line, and Hoxie tried to break free, and when he did...
And Hoxie is being sent off.
Yeah, he kind of wailed the arms and maybe called for the elbow. But originally it was because he was being held from getting up the floor.
So we've got Hoxie for the Blast, and we've got Huffman for Cedar Rapids.
Advantage Cedar Rapids here being down by 2, taking a player off the floor on each side.
4v4 for 2 minutes. Times of the penalty, 9:02 of the fourth. So they're saying Sandoval gets the penalty.
Did they say the penalty on Hoxie?
Yes, it was a penalty.
Well, did they say what it was?
Yeah, they did, but my retention is poor, to say the least.
Blast in no hurry here. They'd love to get rid of the 4-on-4 situation and rag as much time off as they can.
Is that not a hold?
It is.
Official word, both calls were elbows. Both players sent off 2 minutes for elbows. On the penalties.
The original penalty, which I don't know if it was seen or not, should have been a hold. A clear break off for Hoxie. There's a push.
Free kick Blast coming up from the corner.
Well, Coach Danny Kelly agrees with you. He's been talking to Ryan the entire time, letting him know you got to call that first foul.
I mean, there was nobody back for Cedar Rapids, so it would have been a breakaway for Hoxie if he wouldn't have been held.
5 minutes left to play. Back post! 8-5 Blast, Pereira. Boy, that one was easy.
That's about as pretty as it gets right there. Blast are pulling away.
Blast have now scored 4 out of the last 5 goals in this game. They lead by 3.
What a pass.
Time to go 10 minutes of the fourth.
Vinny Dantas again. What a game Vinny's having.
Pereira, 2 goals tonight. Dantas now has 2 goals and 2 assists. He's got 85 points in 46 career games. And a timeout, Cedar Rapids, with 5 minutes to go. So if you're Cedar Rapids now, do you go 6th attacker?
It'd be a good time, right? Because
5 minutes to go.
You're still 4-on-4.
And they are going 6th attacker. Greenfield putting the jersey on himself.
Yep, there it is.
It's interesting, guys. One thing to note, he's wearing a blue 6th attacker jersey.
Well, dark blue.
Yeah, but it's got to be an alternate color.
It's got some red in it.
Okay. Sure. All right, guys, we're at that point. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. What's your vote for player of the game?
Oh, it's got to be Dantas.
Well, at this point, yeah, but still a lot of game left. But yeah. I mean, I think that's an alternate color. I get. Well, you know what? It's close.
It's an alternate shade. How about that? Is it
Yeah.
an alternate color, or is it an alternate shade of that color?
It's an alternate shade.
Yeah. But it does have some red in it. Or is that, Andrew, is that more pink or is that red?
No, that is a red, Paul. It is a red. I can confirm from down on the field. That is a red. And it's the fourth quarter.
So ultimately, penalty kill here for the Blast, you could say. They'll play the box.
Sixth attacker, John Greenfield.
I guess technically this is the fifth attacker. Yeah,
Well,
right?
and then the other end of it is Greenfield's jersey has a number on it, and it's not his number. He's wearing a number 11 jersey now, so he switched numbers in the middle of the game.
Well, if you want to be all technical about it.
It's almost like there are rules to a sport.
There's a goal.
Pablo gets them now to within 2. Hey, he wasn't supposed to do that because the number was 5.
Yeah, I'm going to hear about that later on. Let me tell you about that.
Time of the goal, yeah, I know you are. You're going to be banned from the locker room for 2 weeks. Time of the goal, 10:28 of the fourth. 8-6 Blast.
That's just well met. Nice job with the left foot by Pablo to score.
Pablo's first goal of the season.
And still 32 seconds left in the 4-on-4.
Bond getting the assist. He now has 1 and 1 tonight. Roque working hard on a foul call. Petrocek back in the game.
Calling for the handball. Whoa. Dangerous pass by Pablo. Good steal by Neely.
No.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Badly positioned and a bad call there.
Timeout with 13 seconds on the 4-on-4, and I'm imagining here that you're going to see that sixth attacker jersey again. He called a timeout.
He's not in the box.
He wasn't even in the box.
Greenfield with the sixth attacker jersey on the top step there, coming out, but not on the field yet.
Wow.
Well, I guess he was kind of close. He actually dragged it back to the top of the box. The arc on top of the box.
Boy, William is apoplectic.
William is beside himself.
Well, it's not even close. He's saying he picked it up in his hands. He was nowhere close. If he picked it up in his hands, a handball.
Well, he did stop it with his foot and call timeout.
Yeah, you can't do that outside the box. You can do it inside the box.
Well, the referee blew the whistle.
All right, so Petrocek comes out of the game. Greenfield checks in. There's still 13 seconds left on the 4v4. Well, this 4v4 has gone on for like 15 minutes.
It feels like it, right? Well, the Blast got that first goal at the 5-minute mark. And then it was just 28 seconds later that Cedar Rapids answered with the fifth attacker goal, we'll call it.
4:12 left.
So 6-on-4 for Cedar Rapids here for the next 14 seconds.
No, 5-on-4.
5-on-4.
Yes.
Here's Helton now in the corner. Play is back in. Benzella, a little too strong there for Healy. Here's Pablo. It's only a 2-goal game. There's plenty of time left in this game.
And Greenfield will stay out, and it'll be a 6-on-5.
All right, so now the teams are back at full strength and the sixth attacker. 8-6 Blast. 3:52 left.
Some of the facial expressions and motions from some of the players are hilarious. Hoffman that time was beside himself that he was called for the foul there. Hoxie gets dragged down. That's a foul.
I tell you what, Hoxie's doing a good job of keeping his cool right now because I'd be losing my mind right now. And then there's Gerson. He is really not showing himself well tonight. Embarrassing. It's a guy that can score the goal, score the ball very well, and just taken away from that with the way he's acting tonight.
Play is back in now with 3:43 left. Nice ball here.
Got to make it tough to play sixth attacker here on this field.
Greenfield past midfield. Gerson is denied by Thomas. And this will take a squirrely bounce and go over. And it'll be Cedar Rapids ball.
Donatelli wanted the pushing foul there. You almost got to feel like you got to score when the other team has a sixth attacker, right?
Yeah.
On this type of field.
In the corner now for Walls. Good play by Elton.
Evidently not that good of a play. They called a foul. Good spot here.
It'll be Pablo on it. Off the boards. Intended for Kenaway, blocked by the blast. Now Greenfield midfield. Less than 3 minutes left to play in regulation. 8-6 blast. .240 left. Here's Pablo with the left. That's blocked by Walls, and it's going to be off Cedar Rapids. That's a big play here for the Blast. Here's Pablo back to Greenfield. 2:15 to play in a 2-goal game.
Mello at the top of that house on the sixth attacker D. He's going to be looking to try to stretch out there, play good D, and then try to stretch and look for the goal.
Good ball movement by Cedar Rapids, but the Blast defense collapses. Less than 2 minutes now left to play. And they score! It was Gerson setting it up off the wall, and Tony Walls puts it in, and this one is far from over.
Yeah, beautiful play by Gerson there on the feed. And that's the frustration is he doesn't make it's a beautiful play, bicycle kick assist, and then down on the ground again.
8-7 is the score. 13:09 left to play, or at time of the goal. 1:51 left. And now Petrocek back in the game. So the Cedar Rapids has scored 2 goals in the last 3 minutes.
2 sixth attacker goals, I guess 1 fifth attacker and 1 sixth attacker goal. That's why I say you gotta kind of think the mentality of attacking when the other team goes sixth attacker.
Pereira heads one towards the goal, and that one is over. Now Petrocek will come out, and Greenfield will check back in. 1:34 left, and Cedar Rapids has possession.
Cedar Rapids rotated back in. Jonathan Greenfield back in at sixth attacker.
All Cedar Rapids here in late.
Whoa, Pablo just wide. What a save by William on a drive by Huffman. Rebound, look at Santana using his head for the block, and this one is over. And a yellow card.
Well, Bond's going to go off. He's been arguing the entire game, and so he'll be out for the rest of the game.
That's a big piece off the field for Cedar Rapids with 1:10 left. Boy, William came up huge on that save. Watch
right
it
there,
here.
Yep, got it with the right foot. And then what was
I think he has a point there. I think Nelson Santana could have been called for a handball there. It looks like it went off his elbow as he was calling there on the deflection. But referees didn't see it that way, and dissent was called. So unless we end up in overtime, that's the last of Bond we've seen in Baltimore this year.
Got a drop ball here as Huffman and Donatelli Couldn't settle who'd get it. Do it again. Blocked by Pereira. Less than a minute to go. Foul called on Kenaway. Last minute of play here of the first ever game at CQ Arena for the Blast.
Fans got their money's worth tonight, didn't they?
And I think all season. Around the turn, Greenfield makes the play. Pablo now, 48 seconds left. Blast got to get back. Cedar Rapids will have possession here. Greenfield. And they lose it for momentarily at least. Pereira to the midfield, working with Huffman. The Rampage get it back. 33 seconds to play. Rampage need a goal to tie. Hurwitz to Walls. Benzella slides along the turf. Hurwitz tries to keep it alive. They dig it out. Now they have it again. 18 seconds left. Here's Greenfield. 15 seconds left. Inside for Walls. 12 seconds left. Huffman at the yellow line. 9 seconds left. Greenfield tries to enter. That one is blocked. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Hurwitz going to battle, and now a whistle here with 3.4 seconds left. As Huffman goes down, it'll be Cedar Rapids ball outside the arc.
Pretty good spot. Pablo tries to move it forward. Greenfield pushes him off. 3.4 seconds. Got to be quick here, whatever you do.
I think you got to bang it off the boards here. No, you got to do it one touch. Can he even get it off? 2 seconds, 1 second, he does not. It's wide anyway, and the Blast will go home a winner tonight in their season opener in their new digs.
Ooh! Blast got out, started to build a little bit of a lead, and then held on late. A couple of sixth attacker goals for Cedar Rapids made it close. But somehow, some way, the Blast get it done in their first ever home game here at CQ Arena.
8-7 the final. The Blast scoring 4 out of 5 goals late into the third, midway through the fourth, and that really was the difference. At the 10-minute mark, Pereira from Dantas made it 8-5 Blast, and then the Blast withstand those 2 six-attacker goals that you were just talking about to win it going away. 8-7 the final here in Towson, Maryland. And the number 1 star for the Blast tonight has to be Vinny Dantas, who played well on both ends of the floor. Dantas with 2 goals and 2 assists. A 4-point night for Vinny Dantas here tonight.
Just the entertaining soccer, Gary. You know,
fabulous.
We talked about it. We kind of kicked that around between ourselves and watching the games in Sonora and thinking what it would be like to play that kind of soccer night in and night out, and we kind of got a taste of it here tonight for the Blast. Pretty cool.
Blast getting goals from Pereira, a couple from Dantas. Hoxie got a couple, got 1 actually. Peruzzi got on the board. That was an own goal from Greenfield. Donatelli got on the board. And then Roque with the bicycle kick made it 7-5 late. Pereira's goal made it 8-5, and then 2 sixth attacker goals. Pablo and Walls, 8-7 the final. You see the Blast taking a lap and shaking hands, high fives with the fans. That's a tradition here in Baltimore. And it continues here tonight. Let's go down to the field for our post-game interview. Andrew?
All right, Vinny. First game in the new home, a lot of people expected you to play well on a small field, and you didn't disappoint. 2 goals and 2 assists. Tell the fans what it felt like to be home.
We are home. We're in Baltimore. This is our home, and no matter what arena we play, we're going to give it all, and we're going to every single year fight for a championship.
Congratulations. Talk about the small field and how that affected the game and how you guys played and plan to play today.
It's a quicker game now. I think for the fans, it's going to be more entertaining. For us, a lot of hard work, but we have the personnel to do what it needs to be done, like the scoreboard shows today.
Well, congratulations. Great effort there. 2 goals, 2 assists, and more importantly, a win for the Blast. Congratulations, Vinny.
Thank you.
Nice work by Vinny Dantas here tonight. And Gary, it's ironic similar plays on the bookends for the Blast scoring the 8 goals. It was Dantas who set Pereira up early on for the first goal ever here, as he went hard and across the crease to the back post for Pereira on that goal. And then the 8th goal of the game was the same exact play, as Dantas from a sharp angle went across far post and found Pereira to put it behind and make it 8-5 at that point.
And tomorrow you look, online or in the paper, however you're going to look at this game, the score, and you'll think 8-7, and you won't really give a thought to the goalkeepers. But both goalkeepers were outstanding tonight.
You think about a couple of the saves that William made, and then the one that stands out to me, Donatelli scored the goal, but the save that Petracek made right before, with being able to slide across and make a point-blank save before that Donatelli goal, maybe was the best save of the night from either keeper.
Absolutely.
Something to keep an eye on is William walked off, got the chance to talk to him, and he did say that he's working on his quad right now. So you saw him stretching. We talked about that earlier. But with 2 games and 2 nights coming up on Friday, that'll be something to keep an eye on.
And that action begins right back here at the CQ Arena 1 week from tonight, when the Syracuse Silver Knights come to town to take on the Blast. That game time is 7:35 as well. And you can see all the action right here, of course, on MASL TV. Speaking of the Silver Knights, they're in action tonight. Silver Knights at home against the Ontario Fury. And this game now, I believe, is a final. Ontario has come back and beaten Syracuse 7-6 in overtime in the home opener for the Silver Knights. They'll be here in Baltimore next Friday night. And then right after that, the Blast kind of do what Cedar Rapids has to do tonight, and that's get out of town and go down to Florida and take on the Tropics. Exactly what Cedar Rapids does tonight.
Yep, interesting start to the season, then 3 straight home games for the Blast to kick off 2017.
Blast will be home a lot, actually, here in the first part of the year. As you mentioned, 5 of their first 6 games. By December 10th, there'll be 6 games played this season. Blast will have been home 5 times.
And then they're done till the first of the year. They won't play another home game the rest of the month of December. They're on the road for 4 straight before they come back to play Harrisburg in 2018.
All right, so that's the story here from CQ Arena at Towson University, where the Baltimore Blast open up a new era in their history with a new home and a victory, 8-7 over the Cedar Rapids Rampage. For Paul Mittermeier and Andrew Primrose, I'm Gary Stein and the rest of our production crew here. We thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you a week from tonight when the Syracuse Silver Knights come to town. Game time 7:35 right here on MASL TV. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.